The first half of 2025, the year that almost wasn't for film and advertising. Or was it? With work for Bentley, Dyson, Barclays, TSB, Pepsi, Mars, Netflix, HBO and Amazon, you'd think we were back to normal at Sandstorm. But let's dig a little deeper and talk about the whole industry this year. Traditional film and advertising may never return to the good old days, whenever that was. It was a very slow start to the year, but April was getting busy and May has been very much normal in terms of work levels. Although the budgets are still very tight, there is a lot of work finally restarting and, well, long may that continue. Fast forward to March 2025 and it was still pretty dead across the globe. Although we were busy until October, most people have been quiet from May 2024. That's 10 months without any real work. Clients had dwindling budgets with no idea what they should spend them on, and they weren't going to risk it on an expensive traditional ad or a film when, well, maybe tomorrow, AI would be able to do it for £1.50. AI, like film, needs a good team behind it, and we're still yet to see if people will even watch AI films and actually engage with them. It has helped a lot of our clients by speeding up time to version work, record guide voiceovers, extend sets, create mood films, sense check scripts, help with research. But a stat from a very good friend of mine who works deeply in AI, his team has grown by 4 times in a year. Not because AI is doing it right, but because he needs more people to keep an eye on it and sense check what it's doing, which I think is pretty scary stuff. What's maybe even more scary, many of our collaborators have seen a drop-off in demand for traditional filming as a result. A colleague of mine from LA described Hollywood as a bloodbath. Production companies and post houses alike had rapidly gone into administration. Some of the biggest names in the business are no more. The new phrase we started hearing a lot from the industry was stay in the mix till 26. And rightfully so, a lot of people were getting worried when they were hearing that. When an industry that's 100 years old and fundamentally hasn't changed much in that time starts saying things like this, well, maybe it's time to face up to the facts that the world may have actually moved on. We coined the phrase at Sandstorm of business as almost usual during lockdown in 2020. That period of time was, well, I personally believe, the turning point for our industry. As far as we can see, certainly from the demand we're seeing from our clients, the audiences either want really top-end long form, something to get your teeth into over a couple of weeks, or the shortest little snippet of content you've ever seen, not overly polished, not covered in brand ads, which doesn't mean it can't be made by a brand, but the audience don't want it covering the whole screen the entire time. Hollywood is being taken over by influencers and content creators, and I believe we need to catch up to start offering to help those creators create bigger, better things. At Sandstorm, we're shooting every project now in 9:16 portrait and 16:9 landscape at the same time, fully in the knowledge that, well, almost everybody watching it is going to be seeing it in portrait, and that the active space in that window is even smaller once you've completely saturated every pixel with text, because people enjoy working with us because, well, we always deliver the goods without making a massive fuss. We're not saving lives, we're making content, and making that content in a stress-free way is at the core of what we do. The dairy definitely helps achieve that, but it was a massive cost and it was simply too expensive. It was too expensive to travel to, it was too expensive to stay locally. The negatives sadly far outweighed the positives. So the space we set up specifically to reduce our costs and stress had ironically become our biggest cost and our biggest headache. We looked around for a long time to work out where our new home should be. We knew it had to be back in London, but not quite back in Soho where our first office was, 25 years ago. After some searching, we agreed on Ealing Studios, which is where I am now. With a fascinating heritage and a new soundstage being built, it felt perfect. The main draw for me when I first did a site tour here was it felt like home. It felt very Sandstorm. They had everything we had at the dairy, but 15 minutes from Soho. We have loads of great places to eat and drink locally, and Ealing Studios is easy to get to from the west as well, where a lot of our team still live. We can still manage entire productions for you, or anything in between, be it creator-led content or a feature film. We've still got the same team here, we still have the same kit, our ethos hasn't changed, we still have post here, including grading, sound and CGI. We still have lots of vans so we can get the kit to locations or other studios too, and we're all about no surprises, no budget changes, delivering on time and making the work as low hassle as possible. We set up a facility in Wroughton near Swindon where we still have cameras, lights, set build, and we have access to the Ebola drone, the old Grand Tour track. Essentially, stress-free filmmaking still exists in the West Country. I see Sandstorm as a visual effects focused production company, so Technodolly is a big part of our toolkit. We have one more Technodolly in-house now, a faster 25-foot version that's 10 foot longer and 3 times faster. Camera-wise, we still have some of the latest gear like Alexa 35 and some of the best lenses. The difference in picture quality now between a £100,000 camera and a £1,000 are pretty negligible. So for the bigger projects, we'll stick with the kit we know works and provides the best results possible. For the lower budget work, we have lots of affordable options that don't compromise the quality. In February, we made the announcement that we've teamed up with Quite Brilliant to provide a full end-to-end virtual production solution in London. That means our clients can access all our crew, kit and facilities with VP plugged in. And we've certainly shot a lot of VP work since then. Next month, Quite Brilliant open their larger VP stage at Twickenham Film Studios, and rest assured, all the kit on set, ready to hire, will be provided by Sandstorm, including the 25-foot Technodolly. Our work with TSB Bank continues, supplying, amongst other things, film, photography, artworking, copywriting, and CGI for the Tiny the Elephant character. In other news, we also wrote and shot a feature film, shot intentionally on small prosumer cameras with a skeleton crew. We've finally started working with Ramsbury Brewery and Distillery again, which is really cool. Pre-lockdown, we did loads with them and even brewed our own beer with them, which, sadly, we have no plans to repeat, yet. We recently reversioned our 2021 Double Bass ad, which was an end-to-end production by Sandstorm, and a little like the M&M's job we did last year, included a shop set built with thousands of products. I am still in therapy from the memories of having to label so many bottles, but I think we all are. I often say clients like to pigeonhole you, and I'm hopeful we can be pigeonholed as the guys that make really nice VFX-orientated content of any duration, and not the guys who are really good at making shopping mall sets.